What if I told you that there was a story where Spider-Man and the special guidance class at the Jean Grey School for Mutants had to team up and stop the world from being turned into dinosaurs? Well, that story exists, and it's the first storyline in Spider-Man and the X-Men. So the comic basically opens up with us finding out that Spider-Man is going to be teaching a special guidance class at the Jean Grey School because Wolverine, before he died, found out that there was actually a mole in that class, but he couldn't figure out which one of the students was the mole. So he brought in Spider-Man to try and figure it out. But before Wolverine died, he didn't have a chance to explain what was going on to the rest of the X-Men, so every other teacher at the academy hates Spider-Man. Nonetheless, Spider-Man powers through, he puts on his blazer on top of his spider suit, and he begins to teach the class as Mr. Spider-Man. And he quickly finds out that teenagers are difficult, like really difficult, like to the point that they started making fun of him, and one of them even teleported his shirt away. So then they went into the danger room, and then he found out that teenagers are really difficult, and they really like fighting for some reason. As they're in the danger room, it becomes very apparent to Spider-Man that all of these kids' morals are actually very close to Magneto's, like dangerously close. They all believe that they are above humans, they're above people that don't have powers. So Spider-Man has the idea to take them on a field trip to the Museum of Natural History, and that way they'll interact with ordinary people. And while they're there, they run into Stegron. And who else should turn up but Sauron? And apparently they're planning something, but before we get to find out, Sauron puts everyone to sleep, and the only one of the students that gets to escape is Shark Girl. When Spider-Man and the students wake up, they are tied down to trees on this island, and it turns out that Shark Girl is actually on the side of Stegron and Sauron, and that every person on this island has been turned into dinosaurs. Spider-Man actually threatens to fail Shark Girl for this entire semester for her actions, and obviously that doesn't affect her whatsoever because she's riding a dinosaur. I don't really think she cares about failing a semester.
You can rewrite DNA on the fly and you're using it to turn people into dinosaurs? But with tech like that, you could cure cancer. But I don't want to cure cancer. I want to turn people into dinosaurs.
So Spider-Man and the X-Men are put into power-dampening cells. But it's worth noting that Sauron is bossing around Stegron, and Stegron isn't very happy about this. Then Sauron and Shark Girl go off, and here it's revealed that Sauron actually has feelings for Shark Girl, which is weird to me because, like, he's at least in his 30s. It's really bad, because she's like 14, maybe 16 at most. To cut a long story short, Shark Girl would go and visit the X-Men in their cells, and she'd be like, look, I want to get all of you out of here, but Spider-Man would be like, look, we can't leave, otherwise the entire world is going to get turned into dinosaurs. And that's when Sauron and Stegron turn up and start turning the X-Men into dinosaurs, starting with Globby. Spider-Man decides enough is enough, so Spider-Man and the X-Men begin to attack Sauron. Meanwhile, while this is going on, Shark Girl flirts with Stegron and gets him to program into the computer the way to reverse everyone's dinosaur transformation. When Sauron comes back and finds out that Shark Girl was flirting with Stegron, the two dinosaurs begin to fight it out with each other, and they use their powers on each other, and that turns them into stone. Fortunately, the computer had been programmed to reverse everything, so everyone could be turned back into a human, after they got some pictures. After this, Storm turns up in the Blackbird, and she is pissed off that Spider-Man did not contact the X-Men about what was going on and endangered all of the students. So obviously all the students get into the Blackbird, and Spider-Man's like, I'm gonna get in a lot of trouble, but I don't mind because I taught these students a valuable lesson. And that's when the Blackbird begins to fill with gas, and Spider-Man and the X-Men are knocked unconscious. And it turns out it was actually the Chameleon posing as Storm in the Blackbird working for Mojo. And that's when this story ends.
It's super effective!
Okay guys, that is it for today. So what do you think of this story arc of Spider-Man and the X-Men? Please let me know in the comments down below. Also don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more history videos. Also don't forget to like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, support the show by checking out my Patreon so I can make more history videos. And also don't forget to check out my comedy channel if you want to laugh. My name is Faust, this has been Exploring Comics, and it is super effective.